Hello everybody and welcome back to Bee Swarm Gaming. I am in the clover field right now because I am looking for stingers. Yes, I am looking for stingers. I am all alone in my private server. There is another person, but he is AFK. He is fighting the snail, or just staying in the same field and letting his bees fight the snail as he is just standing there. He is supervising. Okay, now why am I trying to find stingers? Well, you should always be trying to find stingers because unless you have everything that needed stingers to craft and build, every once in a while I like to walk around, and as a noob, obviously I don't have everything that needs to be crafted and built. I need to look for stingers. And while I'm here, I see that there's a new sprout, so let's just take this down. Okay, so here's the deal. I don't know if you saw on my hive, but I bought my 34th slot. Am I finally going hive crazy? Have I finally gotten that wall or seen the wall? No. The reason that I did it is I thought that the honeycomb belt was going to be the thing that would easily get me 100 killed ants and get me to choose a diamond amulet. And yes, I got 100 killed ants with luck, and that fuzz bombs did come out, and I didn't die because a couple times I actually did die, but I barely made it. I barely made it. I would always get into the 90s, but I only made 100 once. So the bombs were stronger, but it just wasn't enough, you know. And there's nothing else that I can see that I can use immediately other than another bee. And I'm not talking about one of the bees that I could royal jelly on a noob quote unquote honey money salary. You know, if I was more on the OP end, I could say, well, I'm gonna get 25,000 jellies and I'm gonna try to get a gifted bee, or I'm gonna try to get like a mythic bee. No, I am on the noob side of I saved enough tickets and I can get a event bee now. Those event bees that I'm looking at, instead of just telling you, I'd rather have a visual on things. The first thing is this right here, vicious bee. I have 154 stingers, which means that I have less than 100 to go to get the vicious bee. Now, how did I get 154? Just through playing every single day. Every single day, I was able to get this much. Some days I would get more than others, but every day I got stingers. So logically, someone would say, well, why waste your tickets? It's 10 tickets for one stinger. So it'd be less than 1,000. I can afford it, technically. And of course, once you get it, your game's going to improve. You go into the ant challenge, and you're going to get a diamond. You keep going. Your bees keep getting leveled up, and you're going to get that supreme sooner than later. It also decreases the spawn time by your mods. You've beaten a tunnel bear, so you know that you can get the tunnel bear stuff now. You're not going to have to run around with King Beetle because he's going to be a big asset for that. So just having the Vicious Bee is going to help with your mods. Also, you know that when it comes time to fight the snail and Krabby, which is down the road, it's not like you buy Vicious Bee now and you're going to fight those mods next week. That's not how it works, but you know that it's going to happen eventually. So buy the bee now, because it's going to happen at some point, right? And you already have the slot, you have the 34 slot, so do it now. That's what some people would say. Other people would say, well, if you're going to get him and you play, and during the play, there's stingers that you can get. You save the tickets. Use the tickets for something else. Okay, I understand that. But it's like saving the honey money for the pack. The longer you go without the pack, you're losing out on how effective the pack could be. The longer I go without Vicious Bee, the mod's respawn time is longer and longer. So it's like, without the bee, every once in a while, that extra time is kind of like, okay, I could have had an extra king beetle. I could have had an extra tunnel bear. And I'm missing out on those prizes. That extra king beetle is the one that could have given me the amulet. But more importantly is that Vicious Bee balances out the farming of the honey money in the ant challenge, right? You have a lot of ants drop, but you don't have the Vicious Bee spikes that kills all the ants. That's why Vicious Bee is so good in the ant challenge. Is there's a lot of ants, but there's no bee that has the AoE, or the area of effect attack. So is this bee worth 1,000 tickets to get the stingers? More on the maybe yes. More on the maybe yes. Why prolong something that you're eventually going to get? Okay, so that's one of my thoughts. Plus, there's other things that are going to need stingers. So you play and you save up the stingers for those. And the better you get, you're going to get stingers. You know, it's just one of those things where some things you save on, and some things you just say, you know, I've been playing, I've been sacrificing on some things. I haven't been wasteful. I didn't get the gummy bee, so I saved a lot on sprinkler money. I saved a lot on gumdrop crafting and royal jelly, you know, things like that. Just having the mentor has helped me out a lot. I can take the saved assets and get Vicious Bee. You know, there's always two ways of looking at things, right? You can say, why would you want to buy stingers when you know you're going to get stingers? Well, I buy Vicious Bee, and then I use those stingers to get the better right and left guards. Wouldn't that make sense? Then the other person could come back and say, well, you save up for Vicious Bee, get Vicious Bee, and then you can get those right and left guards later on. Well, all you're doing is now prolonging things. Someone could say, well, then you get to enjoy the game long. You know, it just goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Anyway, I can keep arguing with myself, but let's go on. So here's the event bees, the support bees that you can't get through Royal Jelly, but you're going to need. Now, in my other account, I got all these bees. Part of it was because I wanted the Supreme Amulet, and the only way to get that was to basically get 40 different type of gifted bees, and they figured it out to where you get every single bee just about. Alright, puppy bee, No, because my bees are still low level enough where I don't need a discount per se. Photon bee. All right, this bee is kind of like the opposite of vicious bee when it comes to the ant challenge, right? This bee right here will just decimate the inside when it comes to farming, right? Where vicious bee puts the spikes up to kill, this bee has the lasers that comes down and says, I'm going to take all the pollen. So this one says, I'm going to raise the honey meter up by giving you the pollen. The ants fall down, and vicious bee says, all right, spikes, you come up. So this is the balance to vicious bee. This is the balance to vicious bee. And when you gift this one up, this gives a 5% instant conversion to every single bee. Plus, this bee never puts pollen into your bag. Everything is instantly converted. And this bee never goes back to the hive because there's no need to go back to the hive, right? Because everything is instantly converted. It's awesome. Tabby bee, the best farmer out there. However, for a noob, don't really need this bee because it takes a long time to see its true potential. Now, I know some people say, if it takes a long time, start right now. But you're not farming like 1, 2, 5, 6 billion, right? You kind of want something to get those amulets, that gold star amulet. You want to get a supreme amulet. You want to be able to get that mythic egg from Blackbeard, and the way to do that is to complete these earlier missions. Get that 35th bee slot. Start Spirit Bear quest. You don't want a bee where things start out really slow, right? And its attack is mediocre. You don't want that. You know, it starts out mediocre to low, low, mediocre, but it ends up great. It ends up great. I think of it and I compare it to something like this is going to be better than Fuzzy. Oh, cool. Is it like better than Fuzzy now? Oh, dude, it's totally worse than Fuzzy. Right now, it's not even close to Fuzzy. Oh, so when do I want it? Well, what you should do is have stuff that's really great, and then put the Tabby Bee in. Let the Tabby Bee build and build and build and build, gift it up, and then you'll see the true potential when it's like all maxed out, because your farming is just going to be awesome. So me as a noob, I wouldn't recommend it. I'll tell you that it's a great one to have, but right now, not top priority. Festive bee. I have a red hive, definitely going to get it, but it says a generous bee who hands out random gifts to every player on your server. What's missing is the higher your level, and we're talking like 12 and above, things get great. Right now, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Crimson Bee. High attack on the lower side of energy. Looks really cool. It hops around, gathers red bee pollen, right? So it's on the lower cost, 250. I'll tell you why. Like in a second. Uh, basic 6 attack, which is I think the same as like the lion bee. Not sure, but it has a high attack, fast speed. I mean, this is like a Speedy Gonzalez, right? And when you gift it, I think it's like a 10% instant conversion for red pollen. His twin. Cobalt bee, same exact thing as the crimson bee, but the opposite. Now, when they're paired together, it just enhances abilities, right? Now, what's the downside? Well, you have to gift them both, and you need 2 slots. Now, you can get one, and it still works great. You know, it's not like you get one, and it's kind of like a meh, bleh, I can't believe I did it. It's still great. So, I want one. You can probably tell what I'm leaning toward. It's obviously this guy right here, because he would balance out uh, Vicious Bee. So, what would be a good balancing act is Vicious Bee plus Photon Bee. And then, if you look at things, I'm going to get 2 star treats, right? I'm going to get 2 star treats. The 2 star treats are going to come from Mother Bear and Panda Bear, right? So if I wanted to gift those, that's where like it would come from. If I wanted to gift one of those up like right away, I would have tickets for that. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about, is like I could do it now. Now granted, I have only 1 hive slot, so let's go back to the hive. Because remember, not all the time do you have to put, kind of move him like out of the way like a little bit. Because not all the time do you have to put your gifted bee in that slot. Because you may say, I don't want my vicious bee to start out at a 1. I don't want my photon bee to start out at 1. These are bees that I want to support my hive. So then you look and say, all right, these are mostly 8s. What bee is probably going to come up again that I can get rid of like right now? Well, I have a lot of fire bees. Eventually, I don't want fire bees, I want demon bees. I can get rid of those. Other bees that I can get rid of, if you look at this, we go through the non-gifted. Rascal bee has a red bomb. I don't know. I kind of want to keep things that have bombs right now. Might keep that. Stubborn bee. He's not gifted, so his ability token lifespan, which is what I would keep him for, right, is not there. He does have that pollen mark, but the only thing about the pollen mark is you have to stand inside it. And if we go to the stubborn bee, because he's not gifted, it's 8. And he gathers 38. That's kind of like a meh. Bumblebee, Bucko bee, let's see. So it might be like the stubborn bee, commander bee. I kind of like. Is there anything? Is there anybody else? No, that'd be it. It would be the stubborn bee. The stubborn bee would be the one that I would switch out. So it would be a stubborn bee, and then I would use that slot for the other one. Or if we look at this, I have dun dun da da. Gifted silver egg. Gifted silver egg. Let's end it with that. Let's end it with the gifted silver egg. What's it going to be? Gifted silver egg goes in here. Let's hatch it. Oh, another cool bee. That is my third one. That is actually my third one. 1, 2, 3. They actually want to give me another cool one. A, a gifted bee is a gifted bee. I think this is telling me, you know what? You need to get some bees. Alright, well, I'll make another video when I start getting my event bees. Alright, take care. Bye.